So I've been using hot glue on my foam board airplanes for probably about 3 years now, and it's worked okay. I'm looking for something that has a longer work time because I'm working on a large glider, which the hot glue dries a little too fast for me to get everything together on a 60-inch wing. So I'm experimenting with various alternatives to hot glue. I went to Walmart and bought some of this DAP Wellwood contact cement. This is solvent based. You can see that it works great on paper, and it will bond paper to paper like crazy, but it eats foam. So the acetone or the solvent in this will destroy the foam. So doing a little bit of research, I found out that there is a water-based equivalent to contact cement. This Wellwood non-flammable contact cement is water-based and will not melt your foam, but it still bonds as strong as this. So make sure your top is on tight, and all you have to do is shake this up for about a minute. So this is kind of watery. To keep this whole can from drying out, I take an old plastic spoon and a container and put some in there. I applied this with an acid brush. This can of non-flammable contact cement is 32 ounces, and it cost $18 and some change at Ace Hardware. So it'll probably last you several years of model building. So I've got some scrap pieces of foam that I'll cut up here and try different kinds of joints with this contact cement. So the first one I'm going to try is foam to, just having the contact cement on the foam to show that it will not eat your foam. So I'm going to try this to show you that it will eat the foam. You shake this up. And the solvent in this will eat the foam away. So I have this plastic cup full of this water-based contact cement and an acid brush. You can put it on, spread it out, and this stuff will not eat your foam. So I'm going to do a couple different joints with this contact cement. One is just plain foam, which it's not eaten it yet. Another will be like a lamination type of joint, where it's paper to paper, and another will be like 90-degree foamed paper. But for this stuff to work, it has to be on both surfaces. And the instruction says for very porous surfaces, you can apply more than one coat to this, and you have about a 2 to 3 hour working time with this, and this stuff will dry by itself in 30 to 40 minutes, but I will cut the 30 to 40 minute dry time down to about 3 minutes. Using a heat gun set on low and held about 1 to 2 foot away from the foam board, you can dry this latex contact cement in about 3 minutes. Just keep moving it back and forth on all your surfaces. Hold your heat gun about 1 to 2 foot away, because you don't want to put too much heat on here that is going to melt your foam. And keep moving it back and forth. If you touch it and it's still wet and tacky, then just keep going. Just keep blowing your hot air gun on it. So this is the foam board with the paper removed and the contact cement directly onto the foam. You can see that it did not eat the foam. You see this? You see this? This is the solvent-based and this is the water-based. You can see the sides are completely deformed on this one. No reaction at all with the Dollar Tree or Ross foam board from Walmart. Once this is completely dried, it took about 3 minutes with a heat gun. You press it together and it says to put about 75 pounds of pressure on it. This is usually used for like this kind of vinyl flooring and stuff like that. For laminating, here's like laminating something to a counter, and they say using a roller, a J roller, to put 75 pounds of pressure on it to hold it down. So that is, I'm pulling on this. And the foam broke before the joint broke. So, pretty strong. Here is paper on paper, or this is paper-backed foam board, regular foam board that you would use with the paper intact. Both sides are glued with the contact cement. You put it together, press it together. So this is the paper-backed foam board, and the paper pulled off of this rather than the glue breaking. So I'm going to do like a butt joint here. Push it on there, and it'll immediately tacks on there, and you see the paper pulled off rather than the foam. The weakest point is not the glue, it's the paper pulling from the foam, which is normal. Even with hot glue you get that. So this glue could be a very good alternative to using hot glue. The reason I want to use this stuff is because it gives you a much longer working time than hot glue. With hot glue, you have maybe 30 seconds max to get your wing together and the foam in place and everything like that. This you have until you put these two things together. You have up to 2 hours of work time. The only drawback is, it says here, contact cement bonds instantly upon contact and reaches maximum holding strength in 7 days. So that's the only drawback that I can see. But your brushes and your equipment and your hands clean up with soap and warm water. That's what I like about this. Or to seal up your cup, just take your brush and go around the top and leave a little bit of contact cement on the top. Take some wax paper, put it on there, and just let it sit, and this won't dry out.